Hi. Look at my hair. I feel like I need to be named Max in like a Disney movie. Whoa, man, hey, I love to skateboard. Yeah, but this morning I was unbathed and it reminded me of the movie that I watched last night, which was Swiss Army Man. And I gotta say, this movie was a little bit on the weird side. Some people had told me that there were some farts in this movie, and it took about 10 minutes for me to be numb to farts. Like, the movie was like, and I was like, how profound. Every time there's like a long scene of dialogue, they talk about something that is very uncomfortable to talk about between people, but because it's in this weird setting that's really difficult to talk about because I don't want to spoil anything because I really want people to check this movie out, is they're talking about all these things and it's like, yeah, they're farting and like they're bringing in some, no pun intended, deep shit. That was super intended. I'm gonna stop. Now the stars Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe as Hank and Manny, and really, like, without spoiling anything, it's almost an evaluation, this film, of like what it's like to be in a relationship in modern day and what it means to almost just be and exist in modern day, and like what normal things we need to conform to in our lives to be accepted as opposed to being what they would call weird. And it doesn't just do a good job, it does a phenomenal job. This is the type of movie that I would like to make as a filmmaker myself. It's gross, it's stupid, but at the same time of it being incredibly stupid, it has something very poignant and, dare I say, smart to say? Because, yeah, it's filled with farts and a lot of hot air, I guess, but it's smart. It's smart. I'm gonna cut. It's smart. And speaking of weird, like I mentioned, you get numb to the farts pretty quickly, and it's not even something that should shy you away from the movie. Like, you should just be patient with the movie, because this is a perfect example of an argument that I like to make all the time, is that you need to watch a movie all the way to the end to get what they're trying to say. Because if you watch this movie up until, like, the last 15 seconds, you'll be like, oh, well, this guy's just crazy, and he's actually just, farting on himself and making out with a dead body. That's dumb. That's not spoiling anything. I'm not letting you know any specifics if I'm exaggerating or not. My point is that if you are there for the last 15 seconds, and you are there to sit, like, and be like, what the fuck just happened, and you think about it for a second, that's where, if you're like me, things will kind of click. So now, full-on spoilers, gonna go into the blah, 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 just so you know, to give you my rating, if you're not gonna watch some spoilers, because I highly recommend you go into the spoiler-free. This is a 10. What? 10 out of 10. Dan out of Dan. Like, this is, like, the cream of a crop of a movie. Like, I didn't make a best of last year, but, like, this would be up there with La La Land, Moonlight, Hell or High Water, and I'd put it right before, I'd put it even before Hell or High Water, and, what's it called, Sausage Party, and, like, what was that other movie that came out last year? Oh, Hardcore Henry. I had it set in right there. That's what that silver box is. But yeah, this is, some fantastic shit, and let me get into some, spoilers. When you're watching the movie, you're convinced, alright, this guy's crazy, this is just a dead body, and, he's nuts. But at the end of the movie, all the things that we saw and, were portrayed to us as an audience were shown that it's actually real, because another person is brought into the film whose perspective is like a real reality, and when we see everything from their perspective, it's like all those things that they had built and they were like, fucking around with, like, was actually there. And even more so to push it that extra step further. You could be like, all right, fine. Maybe he did build all that stuff and he was messing around with the body and stuff, but, like, there's no way that he was actually, you know, like, communicating or learning anything, you know? And then at the end, when the body's on the beach and, like, Hank has run away with the body, you know, he's like, no, he's my friend, and he really seems like he's gone to Wacko Town. They show the body again from how it was at the beginning, just on the beach, you know, fidgeting, and it starts farting a lot. And then the body goes away in front of everyone else who's in the real reality, and they see the body go away, which lets us know as an audience that what we had just seen, everything had just happened. But it really makes you as an audience sit there and question, well, what is it that's really weird about this guy? What is it about this guy's character that we could question? Because, like, clearly at the end, like, someone likes this guy, and they like him for who he is. And that's a beautiful thing, right? And that's what everyone in life is really looking for, if you look at it in that sense, I guess. But the movie does an excellent job of making the audience think about, well, was this guy doing the right thing? Was it right for him to lie to this guy? Like, it just brings up all these questions, and it just makes you really think about life, and that's what movies I really think should do. So my hat is off to the Daniels who directed this. They also directed this other short film that can be found on YouTube called The Interesting Ball. I won't tell you anything about it, but definitely go check it out. It's really worth your time, and it's a lot of fun. It's a weird one like this, but it'll make you think, and abstract films are meant to be read into many different ways. Interesting Ball is definitely more abstract than Swiss Army Man, but don't let that make you think that this isn't a weird movie. Swiss Army Man is extremely strange, but I cannot recommend it enough. This is what a modern film should do when it's trying to be poignant about something, when it's trying to get to a younger generation. Like, yes, it's filled with shit jokes and there's farting throughout the movie, but it's there for a reason. It's not just filled with pratfalls and other dumb shticks. It's there for, like, a reason to say something and to get something across. And not only that, there's some neat effects in the movie. It's edited beautifully, and it's super just imaginative with just all the polish around it. Like, the music is really reminiscent of the Lego Movie, where it's just a lot of ba 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 boop 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 boop, but it's, you know, it's like edited in a better sounding voice than that. But go check this shit out. It's awesome. And I still don't know what I'm doing here and what you're doing here. So goodbye. Maybe a new one will come soon. I hope so. I hope you had fun. Did you have fun? Oh, you didn't? Tell me about it. I'm sorry. I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at myself. I'm beautiful. So just go ahead and write that all down, but in, like, several comments. Like, one word per comment. That's good. And, yeah.